I'm saying is that there is a massive spectrum of reaction videos. So like on one end of the spectrum, you have a person who watches the entire video in its entirety, making almost minimal, never pausing the video, saying 3 things during the video, and nothing else. You see? So that is on one spectrum of React content. And then on the other spectrum of React content, you have somebody like H3H3, who literally won a case in court that his React content was fair use.
Welcome to Real Hell, folks. It's real hell when it's VR chat. Thanks to the VR chat developers and their insistence in adding easy anti-cheat to a fucking social game, I cannot have a mod to have the script from the Google Docs in my wrist, so I'm stuck in this hellhole to having to peek through my physical VR headset into my smartphone to look at the fucking script. Thanks, VR chat. On the first After Ages episode of Content Inferno, I want to look at a guy that has been a content leech for decades. Sure, I forgot about Jenks and is forgiven his most cardinal sins of stealing content without barely adding fuck all transformative content, because there's a rise of content creators who steal content without adding much anything transformative to the content they're reacting. There's the XQCs and the Pokimane, sure, but I want to tackle one single guy who mostly is known for this. I'm talking about Asmongold, and I bet he's probably watching this video right now thinking he's gonna get his cock sucked. Spoiler alert, he isn't. Asmongold, noticeably, is a World of Warcraft content creator, one that just does nothing there and sits there doing nothing while reacting to other people's content. We lately don't see much of Asmongold creating World of Warcraft content. Instead, he uploads up to 8 videos a day of reaction content. Low effort reaction content, that is. I don't know what honestly happened here when we've forgiven Jinx Reloaded after content got just dropped, because somehow we're still consuming and gobbling up slog after slog of this fucking dude just lazily putting together a reaction video for nothing. I want you to put a particular pin on this tweet he made. My life goal is to react to so many different videos that I successfully infect every single YouTube user's recommended section. Infect is the right word here, because his content is like a virus that spreads and gives his host a headache that is completely unbearable when watching his content. It's mind-numbing. Oftentimes, he does not add anything of value or commentary to the videos he reacts. He usually goes on buzzwords like, "Oh my god," or "That's cool."
That is pretty cool. That looks cool. Yeah, definitely. That's good. I actually think that's cool. I really I don't think that's an L at all.
Fast.
Holy shit. Yeah, it was cool.
Often more, his content is barely edited, it's uncut, and a lot of times it doubles the watch time of the original video with its commentary fluff. And a thing that he usually does to lengthen the video length is just to read chat. His brain is devoid of any transformative ideas over the content, that he just ends up reading chat and responding to it generically. This 20-minute video, yeah, it gets turned into a full-hour video thanks to Asmongold magic. I know Asmongold is not the only content creator or streamer who makes React content lately, so let me phrase this Dark Piper AU said. React content is a system of exploitation that siphons an incalculable amount of money into an exposure away from the hardworking into the pockets of the incredibly lazy. But JMAA would have been fair use! First of all, Asmongold does not care about fair use law. Nobody in the right mind cares. Copyright law is so outdated towards the age of the internet that at this point, anybody in the right mind will not follow step-by-step copyright law, not even fair use law. Second, something being legal does not mean it's morally justifiable. Asmongold exploits content in a way that when a content creator takes 1 week to release a video per week, Asmongold spams the stream then 8 videos a day or so he generates more watch time than the original content creator, resulting in his video gaining more views and money. Not only that, he often steals the views of such content creator by making his content a market replacement of the original video. So the majority of people don't bother watching the original video. Doesn't matter if Asmongold puts the original video link in the description or the title, nearly nobody is going to fucking bother. And third, if we're talking about the American fair use law, and even for it, this sort of React content is not covered by such fair use law. Content based on someone else's content cannot be a market replacement.
I think the issue is video games are a product you buy versus React content isn't a product they bought. It's just a video recorded while watching another video. Why would that matter if they both serve as a market replacement?
Asmon, you are dumb. A let's play of a video game, no matter the content creator who plays it, is different every time, and it isn't a market replacement of such video game. Sure, a lot of people are too lazy to buy a game after they watch dozens of YouTube videos on such a game, but at the end of the day, you can still have that video game and want it regardless of watching a stream or a video from anyone about it. Your content, however, does act as a market replacement of the original content you're reacting to because you play the video from bottom to top entirely in your content, and that content you're reacting to doesn't change with anyone reacting to it. Anyone can react to the same video and is still going to play the same. This is not Netflix's Black Mirror Choose Your Own Adventure game that was out like ages ago. But JMAA, commentary channels do the same thing! No, because a commentary channel that still plays the whole video in pieces has more insightful transformative commentary to the video than anything Asmongold makes. Again, I just don't understand it. What the hell do content creators like Internet Historian need to pander to vermin like Asmongold when you used to hate shit like Jinx Reloaded? There seems to be like this tendency to think that any small content creator can get help from getting a reaction video from Asmongold or anyone. No! He doesn't give a shit about helping you, you moron! Look at the previous tweet I showed you all. And tell me if you think Asmongold is altruistic enough to not react to other people's content just for his personal gain. If you still think this is an altruistic mindset, I'm sorry, but you have severe brain damage. Asmongold is a big-time content creator for World of Warcraft, and a lot of his reaction videos, given the right time, are about either the new World of Warcraft expansion coming up or either something related to the game. Sadly, he doesn't play the game much as far as I know, not at least publicly, since the majority of the WoW content is basically yet more reaction content as per usual. The only problem is that Asmongold is highly impressionable with World of Warcraft as a nerdy gamer type. He can say one instance that he's done with the fucking game already, as he should pretty much, since the game is a 15-year-old trash fire that releases the same fucking expansion every year, and is also boring. But whenever a new expansion comes, regardless of how its development can guarantee having an actual finished product in the end, he just dribbles over it like a bulldog looking at a Big Mac. It's just basically a drug for him. You already heard that by the time I'm making this video, Dragonflight has 4 months remaining for release and is still in a barren alpha stage that barely has content on it. Unless Activision Blizzard crunches their employees as per usual, despite facing multiple abuse lawsuits they have to take care about, it's unlikely we're going to have an actual finished product with decent content on it. But regardless, Asmon just hypes over it like a zoomer looking at a future Fortnite patch, who will regardless eat it up like chips until somehow he gets disappointed with the final game. And the cycle with each expansion keeps going.
Dragon go swoosh.
I have to address a little thing that probably Asmongold is not aware of. As long as Bobby Kotick directs Activision Blizzard, World of Warcraft is going to be the same. Every expansion is going to have the same grindy, boring, and jarring content that every expansion has in any sort of capacity. Sure, an expansion can have new features like being able to drop and fly like an anime dragon, but the core gameplay is going to be the same, was until you level to the max level and then grind gear at the end game. That's it. That has been the same core gameplay for about 15 years. And if I play the same game for 15 years without any substantial change to the core gameplay whatsoever, I'd also wish to pull the play games plug and let it die. Many WoW fans have been eating the same formula sugar-coated with so-called new features for every expansion brainlessly. The game is old. Let it go. It's not just how much of a sucker for World of Warcraft Asmongold is, it's also about how much of a detriment to World of Warcraft's gameplay online Asmongold is, being to the rest of us mortals who will play the game like normal. Asmongold streams in the Farlina server, that is a North American server for World of Warcraft. However, if you're planning to play in this very server where he's playing on, forget it. He's going to have a horde of his brainless followers farming shit for him, stomping anyone else who's not on his faction, and damaging the server's stability with his huge following. Try to reason with him or any of his followers in game, they're going to tear you apart. The most ironic part of this is that for most of the time, Asmongold is not playing the actual game. He's just sitting there AFK while doing reaction content on stream. But regardless, if you attempt to piss him off or minimally stream snap him, you're going to have all these followers jump to your jugular immediately. They're a problem to them, they're a problem to you, forget about playing on their servers. Finally, I want to give a word of advice for anyone who's looking up to get from anyone like Asmongold their so-called blessing. Generally speaking, reaction content or really big guys like Asmongold are not very altruistic in nature, like they implied in Asmongold's tweet earlier in this video. Their interest is not in you, the small little guy who somehow got viral and got the attention of Asmongold. Their interest is self-interest. You're right there, like if you're a small-town restaurant who's competing against a massive McDonald's next door, and the least you want to have is to have McDonald's steal your burger recipes for themselves, and trust me, they will at certain point. Reaction channels like Asmongold work in a similar way. They grab what made you successful or your huge effort in general, and they recycle it with this lazy, massively produced content that gets spam every day, thus making more watch time in the process than you. The same way, competing against them in a game of World of Warcraft is gonna stomp you out. So my word of advice is, don't look up to these guys like they were better than you. You're obviously better than them. Because at least, no matter what, you'll do more effort than these fraudulent hacks like Asmongold.